Thank you to all the amazing listeners out there. On behalf of the Reef Podcast, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for future mentions and new episodes. Have a great day.
Welcome in, everybody, to a special edition of the Reef Podcast. I'm your host, LuisIpa, coming back here with Nightmare and Emperor and our amazing guest here, Garrett. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good.
Doing all right.
Hey, welcome in, Garrett. How is everything? I guess you're prepared and ready for Cyphacon?
Chatting with someone about a question they were asking me. So yeah, I'm about as ready as I can be, other than, being a couple days away at this point.
Gotcha. Man, I mean, another year of Cyphacon, man. I mean, how does it feel to have another year in the bag? I know you always bring the best there is out there. So if you can actually let us know who's coming up in the lineup, what's actually going to be new this year, you have the floor right now.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So, yeah, I mean, it's been going on for a long time. I mean, technically this would have been our 15th year. Obviously, the reason why we had to, it's our 13th event. So yeah, we've got some killer guests this year. Dana Snyder, who is most famously known as Master Shake on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. We have Ricky Simmons, which he is Gurr on Invader Zim. We also have the prolific actor John Glover. He is Tony and Obie award-winning actor. He was best known for playing on Gremlins 2. He's also best known for also playing on Smallville as Lex Luthor's dad, Lionel Luthor, which is a really big role. Walter Jones, the original Black Power Ranger. One of the big gets we've gotten this year, which is incredible. He's going to be there all weekend long. Nicole DeBauer, who was known as Esri Dax on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, the final season. She's also on a lot of other series like the Dead Zone and a few other shows. And then we have our voice actors, Landon McDonald, Benjamin Stegmaier, and Celeste Perez, who are all currently starring in, let's see, what was the series that we're going to, Kaiju number 8, which is like one of the biggest animes out there that's happening right now. And then, of course, we've got Corey Phillips, who's going to be with Take One Productions, which has been our go-to improv set for almost actually the last decade, which has been incredible. Candy Mix Maids will be there doing their maid cafes all weekend long, which is going to be great. You can go to their Facebook page or Instagram and they can see what they're doing. Strange Cat Cosplay, Angel Kitty, and I do not want to I really don't want to butcher the cosplay names, but I would rather I'll go to the website. We have a page where you have all of our cosplayers, everything like that. Our house band, the Suzaku 7, will be performing on Saturday night, playing the hero, which is local to Lake Charles. Caleb Hiles, Professor Shy Guy, Lex the Lexicon Artist, and Descendants of Erdrick are going to be there. So our lineup is pretty big this year. We cut back a little bit. We've got authors and we've got a bunch of comic book artists and stuff that are going to be there too. So we diversified our actual guest list this year to include different aspects of pop culture, which we're going to diversify a little bit more next year. However, we wanted to see how it played out this year. So far, the reception for everything that we've been putting out has been pretty good.
So I always wondered this because I mean all the years that I've been doing esports over there at that venue, what actually made you guys want to actually say hey, let's actually what is the origin of Cyphacon basically in short term?
So Cyphacon started out in 2011, and it started out as a anime convention. There was another convention happening at the time, and we decided that we're going to go ahead and do an anime version of another convention because honestly, anime was the one untapped thing in this area that we were missing out on. So the first year we started, we had no guests. We literally had no guests that year. And it was kind of crazy because we started out with one floor of the Civic Center at the time when it was the Civic Center. We started out there, and then as the years go by, we kept growing. And it was kind of crazy. Like first year with no guests, we had 800 people show up, which was kind of crazy for the whole weekend. And then the year after that, we had 3 guests. And then in 2013, we decided to just have 1 guest. And yet more people showed up. And then it just kept building and building and building. Some notable names that we've had over the years. Kyle Abear, Robert Axelrod, Aaron Douglas, the Not Visitor, Julian Glover, Luciano Caro, Eddie McClintock, Gigi Edgley, Ian Sinclair, Bruce Boxleitner, Doug Jones, Tim Russ, Eric Vale, Caitlin Glass, Rika Sharma, and then of course last year Mary McDonald. We've had guests from all over the spectrum and all walks of life and tremendously large names for a show our size. And that's what's been the big driving force with us. So we bring in big guests to Lake Charles, and we're like, well, if the casinos can do it, we should be able to at least come on par with their entertainment to at least put us in a position to where we're like, hey, we're a small event, we're a small town, 80-something thousand people, but we get to put on a decent sized show and be competitive with Texas or Arkansas or Mississippi.
And the fact, that you guys are actually have grown so much over the years, it shows. How popular it's getting. You guys are actually, even if you Google, you actually see, all the guests lined up. And not only do you have, conventions, but, like I said, mentioned earlier, that I do esports there. So, the fact that you implemented esports to be part of that is always a big plus, too, because some people don't just go for conventions, but they go, to see, if there's anything else out there. And they're like, oh, well, there's, video games that we can play. And eventually, you also run into, those anime voice actors that people are like, oh my gosh, it's not just sci-fi, but it's also, anime as well.
Exactly. And that was with the whole, when we started it, we focused on voice actors, and that was our big thing. We would bring in, sci-fi guests and everything like that, and pop culture guests and everything and that was the good thing. So it actually was kind of funny because there's been staff members that have come and gone over the years, and the majority of them are they haven't stuck around. There's just 3 of the original people or 4 of the original people that are here that are still here since day one, and they're the dedicated ones. And then we have new people that come in afterwards that want to help and want to build it, and then they become staff, and then they get even more entrenched, even more excited about helping and knowing what we're trying to do. Which is the best part, because we're all volunteers. None of us get paid for this job. We just do this. I'm the one doing a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, but I got to give it to my crew, man. They are just absolutely incredible. If I ask them, say, hey, can you just handle this for me? I'm swamped, and I am. And they will just pick up the baton and take it. Someone will even do 2 or 3 jobs that I would normally, inject myself into, and they're like, no, we got it. You need to go take care of some other stuff. We're going to take care of this weekend. So, yeah, I got to hand it to every single person in my crew, my staff, all the volunteers. We couldn't be running the show without any of them at all.
Gotcha. Nightmare, you got a question?
I do, actually. So you mentioned that you've kind of branched out to different industries for guests. With the authors and stuff like that, who are you most forward to looking at coming?
For this year?
If it's in the future or this year,
Oh.
just somebody you want to have come in one of those new categories.
The selfish thing is I go to so many conventions, I've pretty much seen everybody I'd like to see. Man, I think the draws are you have these voice actors that you want to have your audience see. So I'm looking at, not just selfishly for me, I've done that for years. We'll pick guests that I would love to see, never seen, and then realize, well, we need to pick guests for everybody to come and see. I would like, and we've already discussed this, we would like to do more video gaming voice actors in some of the bigger genres. That would be something different. And we know a lot of people have been asking, they want wrestling guests. They've been asking for this for years. The issue is whenever we're doing our show and trying to find somebody to come, it's always been scheduling conflicts. We tried this year. It didn't work out within our budget with everything else like that. And the other aspect, what everyone's been asking for, and we are going to make happen next year, are horror guests. That the gory movies like that, people want that kind of guest. They want somebody over here. The closest we got this year is, of course, John Glover, who was in Gremlins, and so we try to get guests that fit all the genres, so everyone can be satisfied. But being a show where you only have eight or nine guests, it's very hard to satisfy everybody's genre.
Okay.
So this year we did a lot of different things. We actually booked 2 American cartoon voice actors for, American, like Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. And I was kind of shocked at seeing how many people responded to that. So that's going to be a new option for us down the road. I would like to see more Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network voice actors, because right now everybody going back and watching all the old shows and everything, they're excited. I mean, it's all reruns now, but I mean, that's the hot thing right now. At other conventions, I see lines for voice actors from Animaniacs. The lines are like 100 people deep. So there are like, you've got to look at metrics. I can go to other conventions and I watch and see what these guests are doing, and I put feelers out during the year, and we see what we can offer and what they have, and it's kind of impressive, quite a few of actually 3 or 4 of the guests this year were all by happenstance, and they came to us, and that's a really great feeling when they say, "Hey, we got a guest, we would love to bring them to you," and then, "Hey, let's work the deals out," and it's kind of cool whenever that stuff happens, because it all turned out really well this year for us.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember, I think it was either last year or the year before, you guys actually brought this guy from My Hero Academia or whatever, John Swayze.
Yes.
And
yes,
dude, that was like the best that I ever saw. And we actually interviewed him here on the podcast as well. It was actually very fun.
Yeah, John actually was a last minute guest, and that was one of the coolest things. Like, "Hey, do you have room for me this weekend?" I said, "Yeah, I mean, like, if you want a table, I'll give you a table if you want to come down." He's like, "Just give me some gas money and I'll take care of the hotel room. I just want to be there." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, well, sure."
You'd never have somebody as passionate as him, though, man. He loves.
No, man. He was absolutely incredible last year. He was absolutely incredible.
So I know, like, you mentioned different, like, aspects and everything like that. Wrestling being like one of the things that that people demand the most. And it is kind of tough around this time because, like, we talked offline, WrestleMania is around this time. So a lot of them are getting ready for that, and it's really hard to book up. Now, is it always going to line up here around this time, or is there going to be, like, sometimes, like, let's try it this month?
Well, actually, I know the exact dates for next year, which is kind of ironic that you even asked that. Let me double check and make sure I'm actually correct on this. Yeah. The 10th through 12th of 2026 is going to be Cyphacon's 14th event. So, yeah, from the 10th through the 12th of April next year, that's our event. That's the weekend after Easter, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, this year, Easter falls on April 20th, which a lot of people are, like, going bananas for, because they're like, man, you have two craziness going on the same day. So,
right. I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I got the dates. I actually got the dates.
So
yesterday.
What were the dates again? I'm just curious.
The 10th through 12th of April, 2026.
The funny part about this, I'm looking at the WrestleMania dates for next year. It's the 11th and 12th.
Oh wow, yeah.
I mean,
it just lines up on the same weekend.
I mean, it is what it is. But honestly, I'll put it to you this way: it never affects us.
Oh, I think
it never affects us. Other shows coming in or being near us, like, I mean, even, okay, so for years, Louisiana Comic-Con always tried to be 2 weeks before us, or 3 weeks. Thankfully, and this is really awesome, but the new owners that took it over, we've been talking for, man, the last 2 years. We've had tables at their event, and they're coming to our event for the first time, and this is like one of the coolest things ever, because the new owners realized that in order for anybody in this state, or any convention in this state that is worth a damn, period, you support each other. Y'all work with each other, promote each other. Because only way you're going to make it in this thing is it's making sure you all look like you're all working together. All the big shows. In fact, the GalaxyCon's coming up in July, I think, either June or July in New Orleans. And they invited us flat out.
Wow.
They reached out to us. They said, we want a table at your event, but we can't make it because we just can't do it in a short time frame. But we want to be out there. We want to support you guys. And this is a multi-million-dollar convention. It's the same with Fan Expo. They love having us out there, and we love promoting for them. I mean, it's a really interesting dynamic that's changed in the last 4 or 5 years, that these bigger cons realize that your smaller events are going to make you bigger and better. And then you're going to help them in return. They have nothing to lose. They really don't. I mean, they're guaranteed the money they're making. We don't. We're not guaranteed anything.
Now,
which is why it's scary every year.
Now, here's a crazy suggestion. I mean, you can take it if you want to. How cool would it be to just have a con called Louisiana Con, just called Louisiana Con, and you merge like Louisiana Comic Con and Cyphacon and make it into one, and have that would be like insane. Like if you actually have both.
Yeah, it would be, but I believe that we have different business models is what it comes down to. Our business model is for the fans, by the fans. That business model over there is a livelihood for someone actually running an event. That's their livelihood. That's where they're making their money to survive off of. It's a business for them. For us, it is we are literally just doing this for the community. And it takes a certain type of people to do something like this, especially to put the kind of stress you put on yourself. Now going into 15 years, I got the 2-year break during the pandemic, which was actually very, very nice. And that was my reset time. Because we were talking, and I was at the point, like if we were doing that show that year, I was at the point where saying, I think it's time for us to just call it a day. Like I literally had that moment where we were discussing, we didn't want to do it anymore because we're just so burnt out. But having that 2-year reset, just having a break for 2 years, and you don't imagine how that feels. I mean, I lost so much weight. I took care of my health. It was an interesting time for me. I mean, it was an interesting time for everybody, but it was an interesting time for the convention hitting the reset button and doing what we were going to do, which the best part was everything we had planned for 2020 just rolled into 2022, except for like 1 or 2 guests couldn't make it and we replaced them with other guests, but it just worked out. And that was the year we introduced the bigger, the layout, which was the Coliseum, where the celebrities and everything were. That's when we introduced the new layout that we currently set at.
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So you mentioned that you've already kind of done a new layout. Are you looking at expanding here within the next probably 2-3 years to a bigger layout, or you want to stay the same size you are now?
I think we're going to stay the same size. The only thing we could possibly do, this might happen, if many of us know that the event center is about to get a hotel attached to it, which has been the dream of us, having a hotel attached to our event where we can literally walk our guests to the door inside and out. We're ready to go. They're supposed to, I'm actually going to be talking to them tomorrow, but supposedly they're going to start construction this year and it should be finished at the very beginning of 2027.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
And it's going to be a convention center on the north side attached to the hotel. The event center will be for events. The convention center will be for conventions. Small conventions, like 2,000 people, something like that. If we were to expand, that would be where we would have to expand to. Like if we were to do parties, which is entirely possible, the only place we could do a party that could handle that many people, if we do a party, would be in that convention center, where we can just say, hey, we're going to set everything up over there. That's where all the nighttime activities are going to be. Stuff like that. Those are, I mean, there's endless opportunities and options, but I would hope, I'm really hoping, by the time our 15th anniversary happens in 2027, that hotel will be ready to open. We will be able to do everything we've ever wanted to do, celebrating 15 years of doing this, and just be able to move on beyond that. But I think right now our current footprint with the food trucks outside and everything else we've got, I think we're where we want to be, at least for now. We talked about going back to Rosa Hart theater where we used to do our cosplay contest. But the consensus was it was great while it lasted, but they liked the way it is on the second floor where you can stand up there, see everything through that whole second floor area. Is like they think that's where it's going to be. So unless we get too big for that, then I think we're going to just keep everything the way it is for right now.
Gotcha. This is actually going to sound kind of silly, but it doesn't have to be like from last year. It can be any year. What is the most embarrassing thing that has happened to you? Like, like when you actually talking to a guest, like what is the most funniest but most embarrassing thing?
For me?
Yeah.
Is at the convention or just in general?
In the convention.
Oh, the convention. Okay. It wasn't embarrassing. It was a story, and it was actually kind of funny. So Robert Axelrod, everybody knows he played Lord Zed on the original Power Rangers. Older gentleman, always older gentleman. Well, it was our second year, and we had him as a guest, and that brought a lot of people in to see him. But we figured we'd meet this guy, and we didn't know who he was, and like get at the airport and pick him up. And he sent us these pictures of him well before. We didn't do any research or anything. And this gentleman gets off the airplane, and he was half his height because the poor guy he was hunched over. Well, I'm in there, and I'm walking through the autograph line, and he's at the table, and someone goes, "Is he sleeping?"
Oh no!
So this is the funny thing. It was all. He even laughed about it, which is this is the best part. This is the best story. So he was laughing about it afterwards, and he's at the table just doing this. He's hunched over, and he is perfectly content. And someone comes up to him and goes, "Robert." He looks up, and he's hunched over because he's got a back problem. Hi. And one of my staff comes up to me and goes, "Is he asleep or is he dead?" And I'm like, he was taking a nap. It was like the scariest moment. It was like, oh my God. Is he like literally, it's the funniest thing. And he even admitted on stage, like he was on stage in the panel, and he actually said, he goes, "Yeah, sorry, I took a nap. I'm sorry." And he didn't mention to us he was hypoglycemic, so we didn't know he needed some. He preferred to have a certain kind of fruit juice. And as soon as we gave the fruit juice to him, like within like 30 minutes, he was like up and at him. It was like, it was the funniest thing. But he even said it at the end of the event. He goes, "I'm sorry, man. I took a nap. I didn't realize." I'm like, "I didn't realize what time it was." And I'm like, it's good, but it scared the crap out of all this. Like, and like I was like, I was gonna go over there and check on him and like just touch him, like he's okay.
Next time, just grab a stick and poke him. Be like, "Okay, is he
right? Is he good?"
Hello.
No, that was the funny. That and of everything that happened, that's the thing. That's the funniest thing that ever happened at the event, and the fact that he went along with the joke and he was joking about it the whole weekend long with everybody just made it even better.
That's awesome.
And he apologized. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know." It's like poor guy was on a plane for a while, and it's like it was so funny. And one of my dear friends that passed away from cancer, Sandy Bergeron, she was there that year, and she was actually one of our cosplay judges. And God bless her. Like we had this joke between us for years about that whole situation, because she was the one that actually came up to me and goes, "Is he dead?" And like I think he's sleeping. He's like, "I don't think he's moving." So. The endless joke was every time we see each other like dozing off, we go, "Robert," just like scream Robert at each other.
Man,
then there was other jokes that we can't say, but I mean, it was just it was one of those that I'm glad y'all let me bring that up, because she would have had a great laugh hearing about that.
Gosh. I mean, I've seen before like at conventions, like literally guests literally just laid back and just fall asleep like that. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yes, it's true. But him, it was different with him, because I mean the way he was hunched over, it looked like he was literally like just in a comfortable position, and he was just still as a piece of paper, that not even moving in the wind. It's like,
You breathing it over there?
Or...
Welcome with a stick, quick.
Oh my gosh. All right. So okay. If you had to bring any guest, like like your personal favorite, like whether it's sci-fi, anime, or whatever, what's one guest that you're like, I want this one, like 100%, like this guy has to be with us, or this girl has to be with us. Who would it be?
Katie Sackhoff. Katie Sackhoff.
Damn.
I'm even
hesitate on that one.
I'm even questioning it. No, I mean, look. I met her numerous times. She's an incredible person, but the thing is, that she brings people to an event, but she also costs what she's worth, and honestly, she's worth every penny. And every time I met her, she's like just the nicest person in the world, and she is a mega nerd, like big time. She's got her podcast, and she brings people on, and she's wanting to do the trifecta. Or at least the three major series she wants to be. She's done Star Wars. She's done Battlestar. She wants to do Trek now. She wants to do all three of them. She says, I want to just do all of them. Just do it.
Damn.
I'm like, please, for the love of God, hire her at least for even one episode on Trek. Just please let her do it. Just to say she's done it.
Hey, so we do have a question from the viewers here, right, Emperor? I believe.
Yes, we got from Of Beef. They said, is this a type of convention where people could come dressed in cosplay?
Yeah. I basically say it's Halloween in April. Anybody and everybody dress in cosplay. This is, and I'll reiterate again, this is a family event. We want families with children to come over there. We want the kids to have a good time. We've got a kids section upstairs for just the children, and it's a really great experience for everybody. I mean, it's family friendly. That's the big aspect. So yes, we want y'all to dress up in cosplay.
All right, I'm gonna follow up to that question and ask you, what is the funniest cosplay you've seen in the years that you've been? Like, I mean, well, like okay, there was one year.
I won't say the.
There was one year when I was doing commentating for the esports side. Two people were dressed in Among Us, and they were competing in Call of Duty in the big giant Among Us little suit, like big suits. I was like, my lord, how are they competing in that? Like, where are they putting the controller at?
Sorry, I'm getting in between some conversations here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the one actually it wasn't a costume that was the funniest.
Oh.
It was someone not wearing enough to be considered a costume.
Uh-oh.
There was oh yeah. So there was an individual that came in one year. She's wearing a trench coat. And she was wearing Victoria's Secret under there, and it wasn't no secret. It was very secret. And somehow she walked through half the building before we caught her, and I'm like, don't get me wrong, very attractive person. But at the same time, like, there are children running around, and you're wearing lingerie in public, and you could see through it. I'm like, no. Like, get the hell out of here.
Be gone.
That's the story about the one time someone came in like, no.
And thank you, Offbeat, for Offbeat for the question. Greatly appreciate it. All right, Nightmare, what you got?
So we're talking about the funniest. What is the biggest costume disaster you've seen for cosplay?
Cosplay disaster. So as far as like just a bad cosplay or something that happened to a cosplayer?
Just something that happened.
I peed my pants.
Man. I have seen cosplays fall apart, and unfortunately the people that were in the cosplays, they fell apart as well. Like, literally, it destroyed them. Like, they put all their hard work into this, and the cosplay just failed spectacularly. And I felt so bad for these people that worked so hard about it. I honestly, everything over the last 15 years has been a big blur. I don't think there's been a few stories where I can tell you right then and there things were happening, but for me, I have never seen I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't seen that many bad costumes that come through us ever. Mm-hmm. And I've been actually very shocked that the quality has been like getting higher and higher every year we do a show. Mm-hmm. And I'm shocked when I see certain people. I'm like, oh my god, what? You're here? Like you see this kind of cosplays at bigger shows like at Fan Expo and stuff like that, and you're like just shocked. Mm-hmm.
Some people take it very seriously, man.
Ones, yeah, and those are the ones that blow me away. The ones that are like so dedicated that they can make this happen. Mm-hmm. And it just, I mean, man, I got to give it to them, and it's incredible. I don't have the patience to build anything. That's why I buy most of mine or get them commissioned. Mm-hmm. But mostly I do simple things that make they're comfortable because I'm at that age now. I'm like I'm not going. I've done the Sweatbag Battlestar Galactica's flight suit, which I'm still going to get me another one because mine already delaminated, but I want to have one more. I got enough fabric to do one more, and get one more made. But my buddy's finishing up his house, and once he's done with that, he's going to get back into it again. I was like, yep, put me down on your list to do number 2 for me.
Man, I was going to say, like,
I'm ready for it.
You could just dress like a soda.
I mean, I could.
Yeah, just like, just randomly walk like a soda and be like, come get a soda here.
Yeah, I could. I'm not gonna do that, man.
But no, I mean, every year that I go, like, to work there, I mean, it's always a fun time. I mean, you see great people, and then if I'm not mistaken, you guys do costume contests too, right?
Yes, on Saturday at 4 p.m. on the main stage on the second floor of the event center, which people forget that they're second and third floor up there because they just don't pay attention. They think everything's at the bottom. But yeah, we're going to have a major cosplay contest. I don't know how many people are entering right now. I know we usually have like something like 60 slots. But yeah, they it's going to be good. I saw a list of the entries, and they look really, really good this year and interesting. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's always fun to see that. Like, I mean, that and then the bands as well. Like, especially, I don't know if I told you, but we also interviewed Professor Shy Guy here too. Yeah.
You did mention that before. Yeah, I mean, just the bands alone and all the bands are being provided by Lake Charles Toyota and Scion Esports. These guys are like, they're knocking it out right now. So it's gonna be an incredible experience. And we actually this year we decided. And typically we would normally charge for our after parties to get up there because we have to limit how many people are going to be up there. We are going to have to do the same thing this year, limiting people because the fire code up there, but we'll be able to pack it out as much as we can. But anybody that buys a ticket to the convention, and you're 14 and up, will be able to attend these concerts on Friday and Saturday night. Which is something we wanted to say, hey, you know what? Let's change it up a little bit. Let's make it a little bit interesting, and we get these amazing bands, and we want as many people to possibly see them as we can. So, I gotta say big thank you to Lake Charles Toyota and Scion Esports for making that happen. The Toyota performance stage is on the second floor. It's gonna be a rocking night. I just can't wait to see what's gonna happen. It'll be great.
Well, I gotta say right now, you heard it here, Netsua. Because Netsua is actually the one that actually runs he doesn't run like the whole thing, but I mean he's the one that runs the tournaments for Scion Esports over there. So I know he's probably listening in the background while he's driving right now. So if you're listening,
yeah, I will say this much. We have some of the best sponsors you can ever ask for. Scion Esports and Lake Charles Toyota. They do so much for our event. In fact, the reason why we've been growing so much is a huge thanks to the Tarver family and everything and they do for the community to pick our little event to join up with and actually do something that they love, video gaming, and just bringing that entire aspect into the community and letting them know that we have something that they can all enjoy and do.
Right.
And they pay for a ticket to come in the building and they can do all this stuff for free. I mean, that's the one thing people don't understand. You buy a ticket, and yeah, the tickets are going to go up a little bit every year because we have to pay for differences in the building costs and everything like that. It is what it is. But what we offer for as a convention. Bigger shows would charge like $150 for what we're offering.
Mm-hmm.
You get to go play these video games in these tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
You get to enter them for free. Then, yeah, if you want to participate in some, there's cash prizes and stuff like that to sign up for.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to find that.
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to find that kind of gaming event anywhere in Louisiana, especially from a small con. I wouldn't say small con, but from a convention like us, you'll never find that anywhere.
I mean, especially when it's like $70, what, for the weekend pass? Like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if I'm not mistaken?
75, yeah. 75 for 3 days. And that's the first time we've raised the price in 3 years.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, and even then, it's only $10.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we were thinking of raising it a little higher, but we're like, nope. We're not there yet.
Nope,
it's always been gradual for us. But this is Lake Charles. We know we're not New Orleans or Houston.
Mm-hmm.
But we want to offer, when you buy those tickets, we're literally offering you something tangible in return for the time you're going to be in that building.
Because most conventions charge usually like, I think it's like $100 to $200 a weekend, like, which is crazy.
Yeah, which it is, and I can justify spending. I'll say if I justify spending $100 or $200 on a badge, I'll go to Dragon Con. Mm-hmm. That's 5 days, and it's 24 hours a day for 5 days in 6 different hotels. That's justifiable to me. Mm-hmm. If I go to Fan Expo and I buy one of their VIP passes, that would be justifiable for me. Mm-hmm. And I get something out of it. We have gold passes. We give a lot to these people with the gold pass. They get front row seating in every panel. Mm-hmm. You're front and center. Mm-hmm. We give them merchandise. We give them everything. Like in the coveted badge that we have, that they're going to get. Mm-hmm. Out of the artwork they're going to have is the only thing they're the ones that are going to have the special badges and everything like that. Something tangible to take home with them. Mm-hmm. It's like, I spent this money. It was worth it. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, it's we have different things going on and stuff like that, but we try to keep it affordable, especially in this area. And, yeah, I think it's worked out in our favor for the past few years.
That's awesome. So we have another question here, Emperor. You want to read it up?
Yes, this is from _. Any average, how many panels do you have at your events?
On average for the panels, give me 1 second. I can sort of tell you. Typically, we have about 120 hours of programming in all.
Jesus Christ.
And you got to understand the 120 hours also includes all the hours in the esports arena. Mm-hmm. That's programming. Mm-hmm. We have our pub crawl. That's 7 hours. That's more programming. You have all level 1 gaming doing their gaming. That's all programming. Mm-hmm. And then you have your panels. So I think as far as our panels hourly wise, I think we have about 90, 85 hours or 80 or 75 panels.
A day?
No. Spread out the whole weekend. Saturday, of course, Saturday and Sunday are going to be your busiest ones. But on average, you'll see about 65, 70 panels for the weekend.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty standard.
Man, one that I really enjoyed commentating for, that was actually really enjoyable, was when Zion was celebrating their Halo anniversary or whatever, like the thing going on.
Yes.
That was a big one, man. That was a huge turnaround. Like, that was incredible how many people showed up.
Yeah, it was. I actually went down there and caught a glimpse while I was actually, able to breathe for like 5 seconds and not being dragged in 14 different directions. Yeah, that was actually a really awesome thing. But I mean, doing their live streams and everything like that is just incredible. I mean, that's the one thing I like about I love about Zion and everything and what they do. They put on a show, and a really good one at that.
That's awesome.
And it leaves an impression for people to come back every year.
He's like, hey, when is it gonna be this year? But okay, Nightmare, you got time for the funny, silly questions?
Oh, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
Oh, so
always got time for that.
All right, we got one more question from Offbeat here.
Can crew members still participate in the events? Asking because I sign up to be a crew member. LOL.
He said, "Can crew members still participate in the event?" Asking because I signed up to be a crew member.
Talking about like just want to be a volunteer at the event. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to turn away any volunteers. I mean, as long as if you signed up for it, we're going to get to you. I will mention this to everybody else. I mean, like, if you're expecting answers from everybody right now before the event, it's going to be haphazard at best. The majority of us all work normal jobs. And so today I literally got off at 5 o'clock and I have to cram 3 days into tomorrow to get stuff done. So, not for lack of getting stuff done, it's just things came up and I have to do it. So, if you signed up to be a volunteer, you will be contacted pretty soon. If we use Gmail, so more than likely, if you did get contacted or emailed, it might be in your spam folder. This is happening for like a lot of our people that have responded. Your best bet, if you're volunteering, is to just message me through our Facebook page, and I can give you some details on where to meet up and when we're going to be meeting up and stuff like that, and I can verify that you've been approved and everything like that. So anybody that wants to sign up and help volunteer for the event and work 4 hours and get a badge for the day, hey, we'll put you to work for a little bit.
We'll get you your head chopped off so you can run all over.
No, it won't be that bad. Actually, this year, for the first time, we spent a little bit of money this year. We're actually going to have door watchers for all the main floors.
That's
so
good.
Now we can make sure everybody that has a badge gets in with a badge, and if they do not, walk around the Civic Center or the Event Center. You ain't coming through this door.
Gotcha. All right, so before we actually wrap up here, we do have some silly questions that we come up every time we do have interview here. So real quick, Nightmare, we can only do 3 each this time.
Okay.
Yep.
Works for me.
All right, so the first silly question I have: would you rather be invisible or breathe underwater?
Ooh. Well, since I'm like, I breathe in the water. Yeah. Because I'm afraid of drowning. So that's my biggest fear in my life is drowning. So yeah, if I could breathe in the water, I'd be set. I wouldn't care.
Right?
All right, Nightmare, what you got?
Being able to withstand the hottest temperatures possible or the coldest temperatures possible?
Oh, damn.
Oh man, that'd be hottest. Because honestly, man, if I'm in the cold, you can put me in like 0 degrees and I'll be out there in shorts, just enjoying it. No, I don't want to. I want to withstand the heat. That's the one bane of my existence, that freaking summer heat. No. I like to withstand that.
All right, pineapples on pizza, yes or no?
Oh God, no.
About the topic.
Absolutely not. That's just my personal preference. No way. If you like it, cool. Not me. Nope.
All right, what you got, Nightmare?
Okay, steak or ribs for a barbecue?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Now you got him thinking.
It's going to be a steak for me. I love all types of steak, so it'd be a steak.
All right, so I'll let Nightmare ask his final question before I ask mine that he knows about.
Oh God! Look,
no.
my dinner got brought to me, so I got snacks. So what is the scarier thought for you? Flying sharks or tigers with the ability to breathe underwater?
Jesus, that's scary.
Well, we answered that question about me breathing underwater, so I'd be dead anyway. And man, a flying shark would. Did that have anything like? Could it land perfectly and just come out of the air like Sharknado and just eviscerate you from there? So, now I'm gonna. Flying shark.
Sharknado.
Sharknado, yeah, that's no.
Yeah.
All right, so
I ain't
here,
gonna be safe.
all right, so here comes the question that Nightmare loves seeing a reaction from people. That's why he always brings snacks.
I got snacks.
All right. First of all, are you a cereal person, Garrett?
I'm a cereal person. Sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Do you pour the cereal first and then the milk, or the milk first and then the cereal?
I pour the cereal first and then the milk.
Okay. Well, everybody else here does that, but I do the opposite.
Look, I told you we've gotten it wrong. It's add water.
You're desperate. Look, times are tough. We might have to start doing that.
Oh no,
Pretty
this
much.
actually does say add cold water and stir to create real milk.
Oh God, is that a powdered milk in? That's powder. Oh my goodness. There's powder in there. Oh man, I don't know.
Why would you do that to
Oh,
yourself?
I don't know. I haven't opened it yet.
I think you should just leave it there for our podcast.
You try it out and let us know. That'll be
Pretty much what
You gotta record yourself eating this.
It's supposed to be eaten on a live stream. I just haven't been brave enough to do it yet.
I wonder why.
I think you should just leave it iconically for the podcast now. Just to have it.
Go buy you another one.
Yeah. But anyways, we want to thank Gary here for taking the time to be here. We're actually going to be posting all the links, guys, to the Cyphacon, to the ticket, so you can actually get your tickets before they actually, it's the last day. I mean, you want to let them know the price and everything one more time?
Yeah, and then I'll reiterate this too. These are the biggest factors you all need to know before you come in the door. Event center itself, the concession stands, and the bar, they don't take cash. It's going to be credit or debit only. So when you go to the box office, it's a debit card or credit card. They are going to put a fee on it. They've already told me this. There's nothing we can do about it. It's been going on for 2 years. It should be pretty much knowledge by this point. However, if you're going to buy anything inside the building, it's not event related or event center related, like the vendors, the artists, the food trucks. Yes, cash. Cash is king. Bring cash. I believe that ATM that was in the lobby is not there anymore, so don't think it's going to be there. So I'm just going to give you all a little heads up, and we've kind of warned everybody about that. Because if it's an event, if the event center is cashless, why you need an ATM there anymore? Exactly. So there's no point. So those things have been said. Cash for the purchasing anything in the inside in the arena, and debit and credit card for the bar and your tickets. And some places will take, of course, everybody will take debit and credit. That's just normal. So your price at the door are $30 for Friday, Saturday's $45, $30 for Sunday, 3-day is $75.
Dude, that's
kids 7 to 12 is $15 for any day or the weekend. Take your pick. And every child 6 and under is always free.
And what is the time?
And we do have a $5 military discount on all the tickets.
That's awesome. So what is the times of operation for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
So the actual event center, we're opening at 5 to midnight on Friday, 9 a.m. to midnight on Saturday, and 10 to 5 on Sunday. The arena, where all the celebrities are at, on Fridays 5 to 7, on Saturday 10 to 7, and then on Sunday 10 to 5-ish. But usually around 4:30-ish is when we're pretty much closing up everything in there.
Gotcha. All right. Well, I want to thank you again, Garrett, for taking the time. I look forward to seeing you this weekend. It's going to be fun. I mean,
absolutely,
just
guys.
Goof up. I mean, I know my co-host couldn't be there. My question writer couldn't be there, but I know one day he's going to come down and actually meet us over here, and it'll be great to hang out, have a drink. Coming soon. But
awesome.
I also want to let everybody know that at the end of this podcast, once we actually have it edited by our wonderful editor, NickyD Luffy, I'll be actually posting the link so you guys can actually check out our merch. It'll be provided on the description. Thank you again, Garrett. I hope everyone has a good night. I hope the event goes great. And we'll see you all next time. We'll keep up with our socials. For me, Nightmare, and Emperor, we'll let you all know when the next podcast will be. So until then, see you all next time. As always, today's episode of the Reef Podcast was streamed live on Twitch. If you could not make it to the live stream of the podcast, you can always listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and iHeart Radio. Thanks for listening. See you next time.